Hello guys, and welcome to another with Zimaleta. In today's video we're going to be talking about how you could actually buy a house like I did for $13,000 or less, or just a little bit more. What is the plan to actually collect this money and to try to buy it for cash and stuff like that, and explain a little bit how I did it. And this will give you a good sense of actually how to do it. I've been getting like hundreds of thousands of views on one of my videos that I put out about kind of like explaining a little bit like what am I doing. This series that I'm doing is pretty much going to be kind of like, I'm going to call it some kind of project, project how to buy a house on a budget, and renovate it on the budget. And maybe how to get a house for $13,000, or I mean, how to get a house that's a $150,000 house for $13,000, because ultimately this is actually what's going to be. Currently, my home in my area, according to Zillow, it is worth $125,000, and I got it for $13,000. I'm sure I spent some money on it. I'm not sure actually what I spent on it. I do have all the receipts and stuff like that. So let's begin. So anyways guys, back in 2014, I was still living in an apartment, and I was no better than anybody else. I'm still not better than nobody else. I'm in a much better position than I used to be, and really like a lot better position than a lot of people are right now. But my whole point is not to keep the information to myself and try to basically like not share with anybody. Like I want to do the opposite. I would like to share this with as many people as possible, so you guys could actually be informed what you could be doing, how you could actually get something like this, or even better. And because some of you guys are gonna be like way smarter than I am, and you use your knowledge combined with some of my knowledge that I've learned, and man, like you're gonna do like so good. Nobody really taught me how to do like what I did. I just basically ended up doing it. So back in 2014, I started saving up for my house, and I saved about like $10,000, guys, and that's all I had. And so in 2015, I saved up a little bit more money, but we ended up buying an SUV for like about $7,000, and I was back at like $10,000. So I was reading a lot of books in 2015, a lot of audiobooks that has to do with like real estate investing. I read a lot of Robert Kiyosaki books, Donald Trump books, and then a lot of other authors that you probably never even heard of. I actually do not read any books that's free. I always buy books on Audible. And this is not to try to say that I'm trying to like advertise Audible, even though I am kind of like, I could actually earn like points and stuff, from them or whatever. But anyways, that's beyond the scope of this video. It's not actually the purpose, because at the time I was just buying audiobooks, and I still am. Like, I don't get any free books. I still do buy books from them and stuff, but if I put a link in the description below and you click on it, sure, I'm going to get some kind of like a percentage or something from the book, but don't click on it if you want to. So, the whole purpose is not to try to make money on like my viewers from you getting a book. The whole purpose is to say, hey, I started reading books in 2015, and that really pushed me like into actually getting a house. So by the time May came, and May, like it's my birthday now, May the 26th, and I was like, I think I was like 34 years old. So my goal was to buy a house before I was 35. That was my goal. Like I was putting like a lot of those goals like kind of like set in stone and stuff like that. So I was like, man, I want to buy a house. And man, the housing market was already kind of like rising up. It was constantly rising. So but we had this $10,000, and me and my wife were so positive. We're thinking we could buy a house for $10,000. So we started looking and looking, and we found some properties and stuff like that. There was just pieces of land. Sometimes land for $15,000 even, just for a piece of land. And we were like, okay, well, maybe we could buy land and we could just start building something, start small and, build up. We took a look at some of those properties, and they were not what we wanted in 2015. They were worse than we've seen before. Before, I've seen complete houses for $12,500 and $13,000 that you could get. And I'm thinking, man, I've really missed out. But, so here's the start. This is the way me and my wife, we just always do stuff. We want to go somewhere, we just go. So like, hey, let's buy a house. Okay, so we get in the car, and I'm like, look, I know actually where we could get like a magazine that's going to show like all these houses and stuff for sale. It's like no special thing. So we end up driving pretty much to South Carolina, gas station, and we got like one of those boxes. You open up, it says free. And we pulled out every single magazine we could find that was like different stuff. And we got doubles so we could both be sitting over there reading. We got back to our apartment and we're over there reading the magazine and stuff like that. And we looked through the whole thing. We didn't find nothing, you know. It's just like everything seemed like it was just like beyond what we had, you know, for the money and stuff like that. And it's almost kind of like, man, you could almost give up from that, but we wasn't giving up, you know. We just put it like aside and stuff like that. And then, you know, we took the magazines like to the car and stuff like that. And then my wife later on, she takes the magazine again. She starts flipping through the pages and she's like, oh, look at this house. And in the picture, you know, you could see that little house, that picture. Maybe I'll flash it up over here somewhere on the screen if I'll remember to do that. It was a pretty ugly looking house, and I'm thinking, my wife wants me to buy that? I don't know about that. I'm like, you sure? Is that what you want to buy? She's like, yeah, we're not going to have any debt. I'm like, okay, you don't know what you're asking here. But of course, I don't care. You know, to me, it's important, I guess. Happy wife, happy life, you know, like what they say. So I said, okay, let's check it out. And you know, we called up a real estate agent that was selling it, and turns out he's like, this house is actually a bank foreclosure. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's $26,500 for the house as a bank foreclosure. And we called a real estate, you know, agent up that was actually selling that house. Okay, that bank real estate agent. So he says, look, you could, you know, I could show you the house, and you could choose your real estate agent to try to show it to you. And I said, look. I said, that's fine, just show it to us, you know, it's no problem. So he showed us the house, and we came here, and we took a look at it, and we're like, whoa, you know, it had low 7-foot tall ceilings, a lot of cracked windows, the door was all cracked windows, some of the window pieces were missing, and we tried not to fall through the floor, because right immediately when you walk in, it was a big rotted floor place, and we walked to the area where supposedly the kitchen is, like everything's missing, and like, you know, kind of like we're just looking around and stuff. Okay, you know, like a lot of piping is gone and electrical and stuff. So we looked through the whole place. You know, if you wanted to live in, I guess you could live like that and stuff like that. We took a look at it. My wife was like, "Yeah, let's buy it." I said, "Okay, well, we have $10,000. Let's offer them $10,000." Okay, so real estate agent said to me, he says, yeah, in order to bid on a house, you got to put $10,000 in escrow, and that's actually the way it's done. So we're like, all right. So I said, I kind of like first talked to the real estate investor before even telling him about $10,000. I said, look, we would like to use you. I don't care, like, you know, who the real estate agent is. You know, you work with a bank or whatever. Maybe it's even better that you work with a bank. And, you know, and he's like, yeah, sure. And I said, like, are you shy about giving like lowball offers? He's like, no, I don't care. So what do you have in mind? I'm like, 10,000. Can you do that? He's like, yeah, that's no problem. I'll fill out the paperwork. He says, you'll need to put like $10,000 into escrow account, and we'll go from there. I'll draw up all the paperwork. I'm like, okay. So he draws up all the paperwork and stuff like that, and, you know, boom, like, we're able to, you know, put that $10,000 in, you know, we bid on the property. It's not our first time to do it. We bid on it before, we lost, you know, so it's a chance that we take. And this is the ugliest home that we ever bid on. We were bidding at some better homes, and we won at $13,000 as well. So it's at $10,000, you know. So anyways, and about like a week later, the bank gets back to us, and the bank is like, they said $13,500, and I'm like, $12,000, you know. And, you know, like, and immediately, like, when I submitted that, like, I'm thinking, first of all, I don't have $12,000, you know, and thirdly, like, I'm thinking, man, what a mistake that I did. Like, what if the bank says no? I should have took like 13.5. I mean, this is like the decision that I was always making. I always underbid, and then somebody comes out with a bigger bid than I am, and they end up winning the house. I'm thinking, I look at the listing again, and like, man, like 2,600 people have looked at this place according to Zillow, and I'm like thinking, man, like what if there's somebody else that's bidding on this thing? And man, I'm thinking I made a mistake. Like, I wanted to call back the real estate agent that same day and say, look, we'll take the 13.5, and I just held my breath, and I didn't do it. And I'm thinking, man, I'm kicking myself. I'm thinking I'm making this like such a stupid decision in my life. Like, I could like buy this right now. The bank wants 13.5, like it could be mine, and the closing's gonna take about a month, so I have time to collect the money. So okay, next day, bank gets back to me. And they're like, we'll take 12 and a half. I'm like, yeah, 12 and a half, you know. So I took it. I wasn't going to say no anymore. I'm thinking, man, I can't believe that really worked. So 12.5, we won, and they're like, man, now we got to save up the money. And what we're dealing with is like, I gotta pay for my expensive Sprinter insurance. I gotta fuel it up about $2,000 every month, and I gotta pay rent like $800 plus put food on my table, utilities, you name it, and stuff like that. Plus my wife's car insurance and stuff like that. You know, like it's just a lot of stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, like we're just gonna like really try to save up. And I left, and it's like on purpose almost. Like there's a lot of like bad weeks that I had and stuff like that, and so I made the money. You know, of course, like I had the 12.5, I knew that, but there was a closing, you know, like money and stuff like that, and like I wasn't really sure how much that's gonna be. My real estate agent was kind of guessing, and you know, that kind of thing. So, anyways, I get back and you know, like get back from the road, because the closing is supposed to be like happening this week, so you know, like, and I'm like thinking, I don't know if I have like enough, and you know, we found out a little bit more, and the lawyer of course showed how much money it's going to be, and then we started like getting all the money out of the bank. We whatever cash I had in my wallet, we looked at change. We almost like not like really, but kind of like almost like lifting up our pillow cushion. Like we looked for every penny we could find. We put it all together, guys. And then I took it all to the bank, and they wrote me a cashier's check, exactly for $13,000 and some change. It was like literally like some change. We had exactly enough, guys, to the penny, and that was like seriously, that was like such a like eye opener. I'm like thinking, man, God is like really looking out for us, and He's really showing us like, listen, I'm in control. You know, you got all the money. You don't even know, like you didn't even think you had all the money. Like, you know, it's like I'm thinking, man, like. That is interesting. I don't know if you guys are religious and stuff like that. That's besides the point. You could call it higher power, whatever, you know. But we had the money. We had the money, like, and that was important. So on the way to the closing cost, my real estate agent calls me up and he says, "Look, I think you bought more than you bargained for." I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, you know, what's going on?" He's like, "The bank is giving you the property next door for free." I'm like, what? You sure? He's like, yeah, the bank is giving that one to you as well, the one you wanted to buy. Because I actually did tell him, I said, look, who's got this property for sale? He's like, I'm going to find out. He found out for me, like, that same time we were looking. He's like, bank owns that one. I'm like, which bank? He said, the same one that owns yours. Okay, so, you know, he didn't think that property was together with this one. So at closing, the bank gave us the property next door, and I would be more than happy to pay for that property at some point if we could make a deal with the bank. But little that we knew, as soon as we closed on the property, and of course we did get that property next door, you know, free of charge. And in the Bible, there's a verse somewhere that God will take away from, like, you know, like I don't know how it says, but basically, I'm just gonna use my own word. He's gonna take it away from kind of like a, you know, like a bad person, and give it away to the good. And I don't consider myself somebody that's good, or somebody that's like holy, or somebody that's like a good Christian. I try to live my life like best I could. You know, I'm only human. I make mistakes. And you guys could see that in some of my videos. I do make mistakes in my construction, and, you know, like, you probably don't see, like, mistakes that I make in my life, but believe me, guys, I make them. I'm just like a human being. So, you know, this is life. You know, that's what happens. You know, we learn from our mistakes, and there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. And then, guys, we got it. So that is that. So this is like the end of this story, guys. Well, as you could see, guys, it is done, and this is the way I knocked the wall down. I just need to get some 2x6s to make the column shapes over here, get rid of some of this metal, and do the same thing on that side, and resurface everything over here and stuff like that. So just a little bit more work done, and this is how I do it. So as you can see, guys, I have created pretty much an open space. So once somebody comes in, this is going to be kind of like a pretty wide area. I could actually stand here with my arms extended out. There's going to be a wall there, so we'll have a bedroom here, and I'll be able to have a complete open space. And so once I do make an addition, it will be like so good. Like, you'll be able to walk in, make a few steps, and then you're like, whoa, so everything's open, you know. So that's actually what I'm trying to do, and I hope you guys will get some ideas how to turn your small place into something that's going to be comfortable, something to your liking, because this is certainly something that I'm going to enjoy doing. And if you like this kind of stuff, please consider subscribing and of course liking my videos. Come back next time, because this is kind of like all I'm going to be doing is every day talking about it and doing it at the same time, guys. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching, and please ask me questions or comments, anything, you know, like that, and I will get to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you, and take care. God bless you. Bye.